Have you ever helped someone and then regretted it? Have you ever wondered if helping others is always the right thing to do? We are often taught that helping others is a noble act, but in life, there are situations where helping becomes a very serious mistake. Imagine one day you meet an old friend. He is having difficulty and asks you for help. You don't hesitate to reach out, but after a while, you realize that he hasn't changed or improved his situation. He even takes advantage of your kindness. This raises a big question. How do we know who is truly worth helping? Stoicism, an ancient but still valid philosophy, offers us valuable advice. According to this philosophy, not everyone is worthy of our help. There are people who, no matter how many times you help, they never change or are grateful. In this video, Morgan will share with you 6 types of people that we should think carefully before deciding to help. Think about those people who don't want to change and improve themselves. Think about it. Why should we waste time and energy on them when they have no intention of changing? Have you met any of these people? Please comment below and share your story. I look forward to hearing your experiences and finding the best ways to live a happier and more positive life together. Or people who do not know how to appreciate help, only know how to take advantage of the kindness of others to achieve personal goals without any gratitude. Do they really deserve our help? What about those who intentionally harm or hurt others? Do they deserve our attention and help? Let's explore together now the types of people we should be careful about helping, so that we can focus our energy and kindness on those who truly deserve it. And as usual, Morgan has a small challenge for you. Watch the video until the end if you are really serious about staying calm in all situations and developing yourself. Please leave a comment. Accept the challenge to practice patience and determination to discover what these 6 types of people we should not help are. First, we will discuss about the first type of person. Number 1. People who don't want to change or improve themselves. Morgan wants to tell you a very special personal story. A few years ago, I had a close friend whom I always loved and respected. However, he always has difficulties in his work and personal life because of a series of bad habits such as laziness, lack of perseverance, and lack of responsibility. Although I have repeatedly advised and encouraged him to change, all my efforts seem to be in vain. He keeps getting stuck in a spiral of negativity and doesn't want to get out. Morgan's story is probably the story of many of you. Have you ever tried to help someone and they didn't want to change? If the answer is yes, then comment yes. Or you can share your story below in the comments section. The famous Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to what happens to you that matters." This reminds us that change and self-improvement is a process that comes from within. If a person doesn't want to change, no one can force them. As a Stoic, Morgan believes that helping those who do not want to change is a waste of our precious energy. Imagine you are trying to push a large rock to the top of a hill, but the rock doesn't want to move. You will spend a lot of time and effort, but the end result will not change anything. Not only does this tire you out, but it also takes away the opportunity to help those who really want to change. and grow. Instead of trying to change those who don't want to improve, we should focus on helping those who have the will and determination. Such people will appreciate our help, and they will become shining examples for us to feel proud of. Have you ever wondered why some people don't want to change? Maybe they're afraid of failure, or they're too familiar with their comfort zone. But whatever the reason, the decision to change must come from them. We can only be those who support, encourage, and inspire. If you're feeling stuck trying to help someone who won't change, remember, change cannot be forced. Focus your energy on positive things and on people who really need and want your help. Tell everyone about your experiences, and together we will learn, grow, and live happier every day. Just now, we talked about people who don't want to change or improve themselves. This is truly a major barrier to personal and social development. But did you know, one of the main reasons why they don't want to change is because they don't take responsibility for their actions. When a person does not realize that they are responsible for what they do, they will forever be immersed in a spiral of excuses and blame. This not only prevents positive change, but also hurts those around you. Join me, Morgan, in exploring more deeply why failure to take responsibility is such a huge barrier and how we can identify and avoid helping such people. Have you ever met someone who always blames others or circumstances instead of admitting their own mistakes? Coming to number 2, people who don't take responsibility for their actions. Morgan wants to start with a situation that may surprise you. Imagine you are walking on a busy road and suddenly get hit by a bicycle. The cyclist doesn't stop to apologize, but instead turns to look at you with reproachful eyes and says, "Why are you going so slow?" Do you feel surprised and annoyed with questions like that? This is a typical example of people who do not take responsibility for their actions. They often tend to blame others or surrounding circumstances. They do not dare to admit their mistakes, do not learn from failures, and do not improve themselves. Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "Don't let the actions of others disturb your mind. They do what they do, and you get to choose how you react." This statement reminds us that not taking responsibility is just a way for these people to avoid the truth and create an illusion of innocence. Morgan believes that self-awareness and responsibility are two core elements for each person to develop and live happily. If we do not take responsibility for our actions, we will forever be stuck in a cycle of blame and excuses. This not only hurts yourself, but also negatively affects those around you. Have you ever met someone who always blames circumstances or other people when they encounter difficulties? Please share your story below in the comments. A typical example is at work. When a project fails, people who are not responsible will quickly criticize colleagues, bosses, or even customers. They don't realize that blaming doesn't solve the problem. It only makes things worse. Meanwhile, the person responsible will ask himself, "What did I do wrong? What can I do to improve next time?" It is this difference that creates leaders and those who only stand behind the drama of blame. We need to learn how to recognize and stay away from people who are not responsible, because they are not only unhelpful, but can also tire and disorient us. Instead, seek out and build relationships with people who know how to take responsibility and learn from their mistakes. They will be a source of inspiration and motivation for us to develop together. If you are responsible for your actions, please leave a comment. I am responsible to motivate everyone. We just talked about people not taking responsibility for their actions, and that's a huge barrier to personal growth. But did you know that an inevitable consequence of this is that they also do not know how to appreciate help from others? When a person always blames circumstances or other people, it is easy for them to take what they receive for granted, without realizing the value of the kindness and support they have received. This is a very important issue to ponder, because not being grateful not only destroys the connection between people, but also hurts those who have devoted their hearts to helping. Join me, Morgan, in exploring why not knowing how to appreciate help is a sign of complacency and irresponsibility in life. Have you ever helped someone and they weren't grateful? Coming to number 3, people who don't appreciate help. Morgan wants to share with you an amazing statistic. Up to 60% of people who receive help from others never show gratitude or appreciation. That's a shocking number, isn't it? Imagine you have spent time, effort, and emotion to help someone, but they are not grateful or even indifferent. This not only makes you feel disappointed, but also reduces your faith in human goodness. People who do not know how to appreciate help tend to take everything for granted. They fail to realize that helping others is not a responsibility or obligation, but an act of kindness and care. Epictetus, a famous Stoic philosopher, once said, "Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some are not." When we help someone, we control our actions, but their reactions are beyond our control. It is important for us to understand that kindness should not be rendered barren simply by the ingratitude of others. Morgan had a heartbreaking personal experience helping a colleague in their time of need. "I spent a lot of time and effort to support, but in the end, I received only indifference and even blame. This makes me feel extremely disappointed and wonder whether I should continue to help others or not. But then I realized that gratitude and appreciation are two important factors that help build a solid and meaningful relationship." Have you ever experienced a similar situation? When we don't know how to appreciate help, we not only hurt others, but also ruin our chances of building good relationships. Gratitude is not only a good quality, but also a source of motivation for us to grow together and live happier. Remember, help is a precious gift we receive from those around us. Never take anything for granted. Appreciate and show gratitude with specific actions. If you find this topic useful, please give Morgan a like or leave a comment and share your thoughts. I look forward to receiving your stories and opinions. Congratulations to those of you who persevered until the middle of today's video challenge. We just talked about people who don't appreciate help. And this is really sad because they don't realize the value of kindness from others. However, an even more serious problem that we need to face is people who take advantage of the kindness of others. When a person does not know how to appreciate help, they easily cross the line and become someone who only knows how to take advantage. Not only are they indifferent, but they also deliberately use our kindness to achieve their personal goals, making us feel taken advantage of and disappointed. Join me, Morgan, in going deeper into this issue and learn how to identify and avoid people who take advantage of kindness so we can protect ourselves and maintain healthy relationships. Have you ever felt like someone took advantage of your kindness? Number 4. People who exploit others' kindness. There is a question that will probably make you ponder carefully. Have you ever wondered why there are people who always seem to know how to take advantage of your kindness without feeling guilty? Imagine you are at a party where you meet someone who always needs help, and you are always willing to help them. But after a while, you realize that they only come to you when they need something, and then disappear without a word of thanks or concern for you. People who take advantage of others' kindness are often very skillful in hiding their true intentions. They know how to say sweet words and create situations that make us feel sympathy and want to help. But in the end, their purpose is only to achieve personal gain. Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "There is nothing more difficult than knowing a person well." This reminds us that to identify and stay away from people who take advantage of kindness, we need to be alert and wise. Morgan had a rather unfortunate personal experience of helping someone who she later discovered was just taking advantage of her. At first I felt very satisfied because I was able to help others. But then I realized that every time they met me, they only talked about difficulties and asked for help without paying any attention to my life. This makes me feel hurt and disappointed. Have you ever experienced a similar situation? Indeed, kindness needs to be given thoughtfully. This doesn't mean we should stop helping others, but we need to know how to set limits and protect ourselves from people who only know how to take advantage. Remember, kindness is not an endless resource, and using it wisely will help us maintain positive energy and balance in our lives. A valuable lesson from Stoic philosophy is to help those who truly need and deserve your kindness. Pay attention and recognize the signs of exploitation, and don't be afraid to say no when you feel uncomfortable. In this way, we not only protect ourselves, but also preserve the true value of kindness. We have just learned about people who do not appreciate help, and this truly tests our kindness and patience. But there is another type of person that is equally notable, those who always carry negative energy and make others feel bad. When we help someone but receive no gratitude, at least we can learn the lesson and move forward. However, people who are always negative not only do not appreciate help, but also constantly spread pessimism, causing us to gradually lose motivation and faith in life. Coming to number 5, people who are permanently negative and bring others down. Imagine that one beautiful day you meet a girl that you really like, but every time you talk, you feel like all your positive energy is drained by her negativity. Does this make you feel tired and depressed? Have you ever wondered why people who always carry negative energy can have such a big impact on your mood? Morgan will share with you how to deal with people who are always negative and make others feel bad. Negative people often have the unique ability to bring down the spirits of those around them. They often complain, criticize, and look at everything from a pessimistic perspective. This not only affects them, but also negatively impacts our mood and spirit. Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "Our lives are the product of our thoughts." When we are surrounded by negative people, our thoughts and emotions are easily influenced, making life heavier and more stressful. Morgan used to have a very negative brother. Every time we meet, he always talks about the bad things that happened in his life, never looking at the positive aspects. I realized that every time I did, that my mood also dropped. This made me think and decide that to protect my spirit and positive energy, I need to limit contact with such people. Have you ever met someone who is always negative and makes you feel bad? Morgan advises you to be selective about your surroundings. Find and build relationships with positive people who appreciate life and always encourage you to grow. This not only helps us maintain positive energy, but also makes life more beautiful and meaningful. When we have to deal with negative people, life becomes heavy and stressful. They not only dampen our spirits, but also negatively affect every aspect of our lives. But there is a type of person that is even more dangerous than those who are always negative. Can you guess who it is? These are people who intentionally harm or hurt others. Their malicious actions and words not only disrupt our peace, but also cause deep mental and emotional wounds. Join Morgan to explore more deeply how to identify and protect yourself from people with bad intentions. Coming to the last number, people who intentionally harm or hurt others. Dear friends, when we mention famous people like Nelson Mandela or Mahatma Gandhi, we immediately think of their kindness and courage, right? But on the contrary, there are also people who, when mentioned, we immediately think of their actions only for the purpose of harming and hurting others. These people not only hurt individuals, but also disrupt social structures and create an environment filled with stress and suffering. People who intentionally harm or hurt others often have a toxic mentality. They may act out of jealousy, hatred, or sometimes simply because they enjoy seeing others suffer. Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do not underestimate the importance of good deeds, even when they seem small." This reminds us that even small cruel actions can have large and lasting consequences. Morgan once met a colleague who always intentionally made things difficult and defamed him in front of his boss and other colleagues. Surely you have encountered people who intentionally harm you like that, right? At first, I felt very confused and miserable, but after applying the Stoic philosophy, I realized that I cannot control other people's actions, but I can control my reactions. I decided not to let those toxic actions affect my mood and work. Instead, I focus on improving myself and staying optimistic. People who intentionally cause harm are often difficult to identify at first because they can very cleverly hide their bad intentions. However, when we recognize signs of toxicity, it's important to set clear boundaries and not let them influence our lives. Stoic philosophy teaches us the importance of steadfastness and self-control. We need to maintain kindness and composure in all circumstances. Remember, we cannot change the nature of others, but we can choose how to react and protect ourselves. Always stay optimistic and don't let toxic people shake your faith in life. Morgan believes that when we live with kindness and consistency, we create a positive and happy environment for ourselves and those around us. Finally, together we have deeply explored the 6 types of people that, according to Stoic philosophy, we should not help. These are not only lessons about protecting ourselves from negative energies, but also ways for us to build a happier and more meaningful life. Morgan is truly grateful for your patience and companionship with me and Stoic Kingdom throughout this journey. Your support and sharing is the greatest source of motivation for me to continue providing quality and meaningful content. Hopefully, what we have discussed today will help you identify and stay away from unhealthy relationships, thereby giving your energy and affection to those who deserve it. Remember, helping others is a noble act, but we also need to know how to set limits to protect ourselves. Always live with kindness, steadfastness, and faith in the good things in life. Morgan looks forward to receiving your shares and thoughts about your experiences and feelings after watching this video. And if you have completed the challenge in this video, please help Morgan press the like button, comment, finish, so that YouTube will rate this video as useful and motivate others to complete the same challenge as you. If you want, you can share with your friends and subscribe to Stoic Kingdom channel so you don't miss the next videos. In addition, you can watch other videos displayed at the end of this video. Thank you, and see you again in the following videos. Wishing you peace and happiness every day on the path of Stoicism.